the energy there is pretty unbeatable.
Not on many events girls have that many spectators.
Yeah. I think it's the most spectators, and it's also the most consistent, you know. Every year you show up there, it's like a giant crowd. There's all the Slovenian flags in the air, even though I'm a Canadian. I'm like, yeah, this is like, ski jumping is Slovenian sport.
Dobrodošli v novi epizodi Ljubno podcasta. Danes z mano še ena skakalka in to je ena izmed najboljših kanadskih skakalk, Abigail Strate. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Hello.
And thank you for agreeing to this podcast.
Of course. It's a pleasure.
How are you?
I'm good, yeah. Just getting ready for the next World Cup. Everything's going pretty fast right now.
I ask every of my guests, how would you introduce yourself? Like who Abigail Strate is?
Ooh. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is a ski jumper, but I think that's everyone on your show. So I'll also say I'm a student, graphic design, beekeeper. I like art a lot. I do a lot of art and guitar and reading, and I love animals. Yeah, a lot of things. Family.
Well, you're spending most of the year in Slovenia. How do you feel like being away from home, but somehow your second home?
Yeah. So this is our 5th year here full time, and it definitely took some time to adjust and find the best way to make it feel really like home. I miss my family all the time, my brother, my sister, mom, dad, the dogs. But I think since our team is all of us athletes are in the same position, we lean on each other a lot there. And also our coaches do their best to make us feel like home here as well.
Before you were living together with your teammates, right?
Yeah.
And then did you just feel like I need my own space? Like I need to go away from everything? Or
how
that happened?
I love those guys like sisters, but it was definitely way too much time together. We were living together, then we were traveling, training, competing, like all the time it was together. And I just think for me, I was like, okay, I need some place to go home to at the end of the week that I'm just able to fully be alone in and calm my mind a little bit.
So do you feel at home in Slovenia?
I do feel at home here. I try not to think about it too much. If I think about, what's going on back in Canada, then I tend to miss it a lot more when I think, oh, what's my family doing this weekend? But if I stay here where I am and I just make the best of every day in Slovenia, it's a beautiful, beautiful country. The people have always been really nice to us everywhere. It's quite homey.
How happy would you be with a World Cup in Canada?
Very happy. That would be like a dream come true. I can't imagine. I feel a little bit like a home World Cup when we're competing in Ljubno or this year in Planica. I think it'll feel quite homey for us, but a World Cup in Canada would be, for me, that's a big goal actually, even if it's something that happens after my career, to really bring ski jumping back to Canada on the World Cup. I think we've got the snow, we've got the facilities in Whistler that are they held World Juniors a few years ago, so still good to go. And yeah, that would be a dream.
Yeah, that was my next question, if you also feel like home in Ljubno or Planica.
Yeah, definitely. We train here like all year, so those hills are our home hills. Planica, Kron, but there's no World Cup on Kron. Even Villach, we train there a lot, but it's not Slovenia, so the Slovenian hills are our home. I remember when Ali won World Championships in 2023, her post was, oh, on my home hills. And we're all like, yeah, on our home hills. So yeah, I'd say Slovenia's home.
I saw you have quite a lot of fans in Ljubno. So how is it? Do you feel like you have some pressure there, some extra pressure? Or you just take it like all the energy from the fans and that's your extra energy?
Yeah, I think I always feel energy from the fans, and Ljubno is no exception. I felt kind of bad last year because I skipped the event, and people were still sending me pictures with they're like, oh, it doesn't matter that you're not here, we're still like cheering for you. And I thought that was really, really cool. Fans, like, they fuel the athletes, and especially with women's ski jumping, like we want to see as many people watching as we can, and Ljubno is definitely the place to be if you want to watch some women's ski jumping.
Yeah, I totally agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the best fans.
How do you feel that women's ski jumping developed in Canada? Like previous ski jumpers from Canada were pretty good in Continental Cup, like many years ago. And then when they quit, there was a little gap between them and you.
Yeah.
How do you feel that development went?
Yeah, I think it's pretty exceptional looking at where our team is now, considering kind of the number of athletes we have. There's 4 of us, and 2 of us have been on World Cup podiums multiple times. So that's a good ratio for athletes. There's still like a slow start, I think, back in Canada. I get that question all the time, and I'm like, I wish I could say like, oh, there's a million young ski jumpers in Canada, but there is young ski jumpers in Canada. They have to be really determined and resilient from the start, because we don't have the perfect facilities like they have here in Planica for everyone to start jumping. So they've kind of got to work outside of the box, and they go down to the US a lot. They do a lot of training on cross country skis and alpine skis, and I think we've just got to keep doing what we're doing with our team, and it slowly is coming back to Canada. And yeah, when I retire, I'll go do some more work at home too.
Yeah, how important is it for you to like make women's ski jumping big in Canada, or at least around the place you're living? How important is it for you to perform good and to bring some younger generations?
For me, that's honestly the thing that matters the most, more than any medals for me, is to make sure that our sport not only stays alive, but we continue to thrive. After I'm gone, I think it would be really sad if our current team retired and then there was no more Canadians for us to watch and to cheer on. So yeah, that's a huge motivation and goal of mine. I do what I can right now. I can't go home to Canada right now and build the hills, but I think we're slowly getting more media exposure. The Canadian media is like, oh, we have ski jumpers. Oh, they're quite good. Let's keep an eye on them. And I think every little thing that we're doing over here is gonna echo back home.
Do you think that bronze medal you got on Olympic Games was a big change in, like, I don't know, how people in Canada accept ski jumping?
Yeah, I think I'd call that the catalyst, kind of the start. I was hoping, I think we were all hoping that, oh, we got this medal, okay, now everything's going to be perfect and everything's going to happen like that. And the change has been slower. Like I said, it didn't happen in an instant, but it is happening. And for my teammates and I, like, that started something in us. We got the medal, and then the next weekend after that, I was already in the top 10 for the first time. And then I was getting on the podium. Ali was podium world champion. It kind of all started from there. And I don't think it was any coincidence. I think it was a moment where we kind of realized, oh, something is really possible. There was obviously some weird things that happened in that competition, but I think that was like a dream came true, a dream that maybe we didn't really know was possible. And then it was like, okay, I guess we can dream whatever we want now and go for it.
Are you more confident after that?
Yeah, I think the feelings from that day, like, completely changed my life. And it was very motivating and very, I don't know, I do feel more confident. And I don't know, I think my confidence in this sport is like such a fragile thing. I'll have it one day, and then I have one bad jump even, and I'm like, oh, where am I? What am I doing? So every good performance for me is like really, really important for my heart and for continuing to do well.
Did you ever imagine you would be ski flying? Like when you started?
I think when I started ski jumping, I thought I was going to be in the Olympic, or I wanted to be in the Olympics. I didn't even know that it wasn't an Olympic sport for women. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I think ski flying was kind of similar. The first time I saw it on TV, I was like, I'm going to do that, even though it wasn't a thing. And I'm very lucky the time of my career that I'm in, because there is so many amazing things happening for women's ski jumping. It's like every year there's something new and exciting. We've got Planica this year. We've got the Four Hills next year. And they'll continue to add flying hills, I hope. For me, ski flying, I definitely still need some practice. I think I've only had 10 jumps on the flying hill, and there was a year in between. It was like 5 jumps and then 5 jumps 2 years later. So definitely need to practice and build some confidence. But it's a dream. It's super fun, and it makes me really excited to keep watching women's flying. Like every time there's an event, it's so exciting for me. I'm excited to watch everybody. It's not like I don't care how anybody does, as long as everybody's like setting personal bests and flying far. Watching Nika last year was amazing. It was like, when I watch her video flying, I get like goosebumps, because I'm just like, it's just the beginning for women, I think.
But besides ski flying hills, do you think that small hills are still important to be part of World Cup?
I think it's interesting with the small hill competitions, because you have some athletes that will excel there and some athletes that will do better on the big hills. I think if it's an Olympic event, then maybe there's a good thing to have some World Cups on the 90, and the competitions are also really close. It's always a good fight. I think it can be anybody's chance to do well, but also it can be anybody's chance to do bad. So sometimes for me, I'm like, it's a fine line, and if you're jumping well on the small hills, then it's like, yeah, more small hill competitions, and if you're jumping well on the big hills, then you want big hills. So I don't know. I always try to stay out of, caring about the hill or the size of the hill, because it's not in my control. Like,
yeah, of course,
it's the competition. That's the hill it's on. So I'm going to try to do my best no matter what.
Well, Ljubno is a tricky hill. How do you manage to adapt when you get there on a first training jump?
I think adapting to any hill is one of the biggest challenges during the winter, when you're going every weekend, you're on a different hill and you're training on different ones in between. Ljubno's no different. I maybe show up for the first jump and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be ready for the curve. And then it surprises me every year, and I'm usually late on the first jump or 2 or 3 or all of them. But you do what you can to adapt. There can be some really far jumps on that hill, even though it's small. And the energy there is pretty unbeatable.
Yeah, what do you think about so many spectators? It's like not on many events girls have that many spectators.
Yeah, I think it's the most spectators, and it's also the most consistent. Every year you show up there, it's like a giant crowd. It feels like mini Planica. And I don't know, as a Slovenian, training in Slovenia, I'm really proud that it's at that hill and that there's all the Slovenian flags in the air. Even though I'm a Canadian, I'm like, yeah, this is like, ski jumping is Slovenian sport. They show up for it, and they show up for the women and cheer. And yeah, it's great energy there.
Did you have any special training this year, as it is Olympic season?
I tried not to think about it like that. I think I was training harder right from the start. And all summer I was very focused, which sometimes maybe doesn't work for me, but I was really enjoying it as well. Like, when I would have a good training, I would return back to my apartment and I was like, that was good. I did my job today. Now I can relax instead of, thinking about it so much. I don't know. I don't think I really prepared that differently, but there's always this aura around the Olympic Games. Half of people are saying, oh, it's no different. It's the same World Cup. It's all people. And then at the same time, all the preparations are different around it, where it's like, oh, maybe we'll skip the event right before. We're going to prepare this way. You have to do all these different forms and you wear different clothes and everything's a little bit, they're like, oh, don't get nervous. It's the same thing. But also everything is different.
Bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger. It's very obvious that there's a big star on that event, the Olympic year. So yeah, try not to think about it yet. I'll take some advice from Nika Prevc. She said, about ski flying in Planica, she said, I'm not going to think about it until it arrives. So I'm going to do the same thing with Cortina.
But do you feel more pressure from media or from, I don't know, people around you?
I think, yeah, I do feel a lot of pressure, especially because I was performing so well all summer. I was medaling in every competition that I competed in. So then I came into the winter being like, okay, now this is the real deal. And I have got 2 medals in the Olympic year, and this is the best season start I've had. So there's definitely a pressure there. I'm like, I don't know how long the good jumping is going to stick around. Ski jumping is such a sensitive sport. I'm like, will it just disappear one day, or will I show up to the games and still be in really good shape? There's definitely a lot of pressure there, but you come to the Olympics and it's just, you ski jump the same way you ski jump.
It's one day and you have
it's
to
one day,
perform.
Yeah, you have to perform, which like obviously that's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, all your competitors also are doing the same thing. Everybody's going to show up that day and everybody's going to try to do their best, and it's a little bit of luck, it's a little bit of preparation, it's everything coming together for whoever it is on that day.
How did you feel when your teammate got injured, especially in this year when it's Olympic year? But like you were all the time sticking together also on with the results, and like it's like how did you feel it? Was it hard on you, or you were just trying to focus on yourself, or how much it hits your team that Alexandria is away?
It was a big shock at first, I think, right when it happened. I always thought Ali was a little bit invincible. Like I've seen her have a lot of bad crashes and get up and walk away. So it was hard to believe and process for a while. And since our team is so small, it was like a big hit. You know, you go from having 4 girls, now you have 3, and we don't have anybody to fill in any of the World Cup spots. So it was an adjustment. And for me, like, I didn't really realize, you know, I think I took it for granted. I had a teammate up there every jump that we would give each other fist bumps. And even if it's just something small, it's like now I really realize that I don't have that when I'm up there, because almost every athlete, especially in the top 10, is going to have a teammate there that's going to fist bump them before they go. So yeah, sometimes I'm like looking around like, okay, who am I going to say good luck to? And it's usually Nika that comes up to me and says good luck. So I guess that's my new routine.
Yeah, because it's always like, also for a mixed team event, it's weird not having one of the best in the world.
Yeah. I think it was like a really, really big loss. I think we're all still processing, but for me, I've seen Ali a lot since the crash, and her attitude is really, really positive. So I think that helps. It's not like she's not letting it get her down. You know, obviously it's an Olympic year. It's a horrible time to injure yourself, but she's just like, okay, like let's get this done then, and I'll come back next year. And I think she's young and she's got a good attitude and a lot of goals. So I think if she was acting a different way, it might be harder for the whole team to process, but she's got a really good attitude.
How is for you mentally? You also had a few really bad crashes in the past years. How do you feel mentally, and how do you like get out of that crash mind?
Yeah, that's been one of my biggest challenges, especially last season. I had a bad crash in September, and then I had another bad crash in December, and my whole season was already almost over before it started for a little bit. I was just so scared. I was not confident, and if you're not confident on a ski jump and you don't feel safe, then that's going to reflect in every inch of the jump. So it took me a while to get over that. And then I was working with my mental coach, and I finally admitted like, oh, this actually, I think it really messed me up in my head. I was really scared. And once we kind of revisited it, which wasn't super fun for me, but we kind of went over it, relived that trauma, worked through it. And then I just decided, okay, like I'm going to jump like I'm not afraid anymore. And I think that's a really hard thing to do for anyone, but especially someone who's had crashes, is just to switch off the brain and just go for it.
Yeah, because usually everyone thinks, oh, you're an athlete, you're not scared at all, you have no problems at all.
Yeah, I think I look around at all my competitors and on the men's side, and I'm like, wow, all these people are so brave. Like, is nobody scared? But I just think it's not talked about so much. I think everybody's going to be scared of something. Every ski jumper has crashed at some point, and yeah, I think it's good to talk about it a little bit, especially for like younger kids coming up. They don't feel like they're all alone in that. Like me, when I had those crashes last year, I tried to be really brave and just like keep going. But I think if I would have been honest with my coaches and we kind of went slower and took some weekends off, it would have been maybe easier the whole season.
Yeah, it's really important to communicate, especially with your coaches.
Yeah. Honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit more about Ljubno. What was your best result in Ljubno? Or what is your best result?
I think I got seventh and eighth in Ljubno 2 years ago. That was my best result. Yeah.
So this year we go top 6.
We have to. Yeah, that's the goal. I don't know. My coaches are kind of on the edge about Ljubno for me, and I'm like, I want to go there. Like, I want to jump. I want to feel the energy of the fans. But for me, the hill has a really hard impact in the landing, and there's been some injuries there. And in the Olympic year, I think it'll be a decision for me before if I'm feeling good and healthy, and or if I'm like, okay, I need rest. We'll see. But I hope even if I don't jump, I'm going to come and be in the crowds a little bit.
Yeah, we hope you will come.
Yeah. Maybe
if you come just to watch, it's also
it's
also okay.
That would be good. But if I do jump, definitely top 6. Ideally on the box would be nice.
What do you do in your like free time? You said you're a beekeeper. What is similar to ski jumping in that? Do you need to be calm or?
Yeah.
Or
I always find when I go home in the off season, I'm like missing something and I don't really know what it is. And then I realize it's the adrenaline from ski jumping because I do it almost every day, that it feels natural. But then I go home and I'm like, what do I do? And I do think when I go out and work with the bees, like, it's hard to be calm in there. I think the natural human instinct when there's like hundreds of thousands of bees around you is to kind of freak out, but you do have to remain calm. Still, I think like my heart beats around the bees, and you have to move, like work really gentle and slow. If you're like really aggressive with them, then they're going to be aggressive with you. So it is a little bit of an adrenaline rush that I get when I go home and do that.
Yeah, so there is some similar things to ski jumping.
There is, yeah. There's some parallels.
And what else do you like to do?
In the spring and summer, I'm in school. So I just finished a diploma in graphic design, and now I'm working on like a business degree. That'll probably take me 2 years. So I do that, lots of school, lots of writing, lots of that during the spring and summer. But now in the winter, I don't have school, so I'm spending a lot of time drawing, painting, playing guitar, reading. I try not to waste time scrolling on my phone, but I don't really like have any friends here that I hang out with. As like if I was home, maybe I would hang out with people or like my family, but here I'm just like kind of staying at home and looking after myself, and yeah.
How much your family support means to you?
Everything. I think like without them, I wouldn't be here. Obviously, they're the ones that put me in this crazy sport when I was a kid, and they're the ones that paid for my travels when I started traveling when I was 13 for Fist Cups. And yeah, they could have at any point, they could have said, no, we don't want to do this anymore. You're staying home. So really grateful for that. And I know they miss me a lot, probably maybe even more than I miss them. Like my parents miss me a lot, obviously. But yeah, I'm really grateful for them. They're coming to Italy, so that'll be really special for me.
But they're coming to visit you also in summer, or?
Yeah, they've all been here now. My brother and my sister also have been to Slovenia one time each. My parents usually come like once during the summer, and then they'll come to one World Cup. But this year they didn't come in the summer, so they're only coming to Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, but they've all been here. We've been to like Postania, the caves, the pizza. We've been to the coast. We've been into Ljubljana. Yeah.
They like it here?
Yeah, they love it. I was just talking to my mom on the phone like an hour ago, and she's like, what would you think if I came and lived in Slovenia for like 6 months in the summer? And I was like, oh, yeah, that would be great. She's like, I could live right across the street from you. And I was like, yeah, you could. So I think they love it here. They talk about it all the time when they go home. But yeah, I think they've still got jobs and lives back home. So I wouldn't never expect my whole family to move out here, but maybe when mom and dad retire, if I'm still jumping, maybe they'll be out here more.
What do you think you will do when you retire from ski jumping?
I think, well, that's why I'm getting my education. I hope I'll be a graphic designer. That's my goal, to have my own studio and be my own boss. But I also hope that I'll like have enough money saved up to kind of not work so much and also help with ski jumping in Canada on the side with the little kids and with hopefully the hills that we're going to have in a couple of years.
You don't see yourself like being a coach and just travel again and again?
I've never thought about that. I don't know. I could see myself more being like a club coach if we had kids in Canada. Atsuko Tanaka used to jump. She was working as a chef, and now she's working with our junior kids, and looks like she's loving it. I talked to her quite a bit. She's enjoying it. It's a lot of work, but I could see myself getting involved back home. But I don't know about staying in Europe my whole life. I think I'm going to want to be back in Canada.
But do you think that we need more women coaches?
I think a woman's coach, especially for women, is a very interesting idea, because I love my coaches and I love men, but man, sometimes I just don't get it, right? Sometimes you're just like, I feel like shit today, and they're like, why? And you're like, what do you mean why? Like, but yeah, I think it would be great to see. I think like women are kind of infiltrating everywhere slowly, and I think we're really powerful and we have great minds. And I don't know if that's the role for me to go be a head coach. I think like I would have a hard time not comparing my athletes to my experience as an athlete. And I'd be like, oh, but like do this, like this is what I did. But it would be cool to see. I'd love to see some women on the coach's stand.
Well, we have a few, but maybe we need more.
Yeah, we need more. Yes. I know we have a few, Line. But more would be nice. Yeah.
How many years you were in ski jumping?
I started ski jumping when I was 6. So I've been doing this for, how old am I? I gotta do some math. I think 18 or 19 years, almost 20. So definitely most of my life. Since I can remember, I've been ski jumping.
So you had to adapt a lot with technique and equipment. And how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I think like the equipment changes every year, and up until the past few years, like I didn't really know what was going on. I just put on whatever equipment was given to me and I just went for it. But now that I'm like at a higher level and I'm really able to feel all the differences with equipment, it's definitely an adjustment every year. And I know a lot of people that are angry with the system of rules. I really try to keep that out of my head, because I can't, similar to I can't control what hill we're competing on. I can't control what the equipment rules are. So I just do my best to follow them and adapt to them as they're changing. And yeah, I think like it's pretty crazy to compare the equipment now to the equipment 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The sport itself is like completely different. So things to adapt to. It makes me wonder what we're going to look like in 5 years. No suits.
Could be. I have no idea.
I guess we'll see.
What's your favorite hill?
Kron.
Really?
Yeah, actually, my favorite hill. I don't know. Every time I go there, I'm like completely in a different headspace. I show up to that hill and I just know that I'm going to jump really good. And now every time I go to another hill, I'm like trying to feel like how I feel in Kron. I don't know why I feel like really confident.
Do you think it's because you know it really good because you're training a lot there?
I think that's part of it, yeah. I think like maybe we've jumped in all conditions there. So much headwind, so much tailwind. And I think like having that exposure, I don't know, I feel like I've tried the hill on every type of day. And I know no matter what, when I show up there, I'm going to know what to do. It's really familiar to me, which is weird because Planica doesn't feel like that for me. Those hills, I think, are quite challenging. But if we're talking about a World Cup hill, because Kron is unfortunately not a World Cup, what hill do I even like? I don't know.
No? All the same?
I know the ones I don't like.
Which one is that?
No, I don't want to diss anybody. I really like Garmisch also. I think that's a fun hill. I really want to like Sapporo, but I've never had a good jump there. I always struggle there. So then it's just like really not fun because
I feel you.
if you're not confident in Sapporo, then you're just like surviving. So hopefully this year I'll get some different experiences there, but it's hard for me. Like it's kind of automatic. Oh, I did get on this hill, so I like that hill. But for me now, I think I've like had a lot of good experiences on a lot of hills, and I've had good experiences on hills that I don't like. So I'm just kind of like, I guess I like them all, except for a few that I really don't like.
Is there some country you like want to go every time?
Japan.
Yeah,
I really look forward to Japan every year, and I think it just has to do like it's a complete break from kind of everything the rest of the season. It's so different. I love Japanese food, so I like really look forward to going there for that reason. For some reason, I've had a tendency to do really well on the German hills. Like even before I was a good ski jumper, I would show up on the German hills and like do really well. So I don't know what is up with that. Like maybe it's like the way that they're built or the time that they were built. But like I've got my first podium was in Hinterzarten, and then I got a podium in Garmisch, Oberstdorf.
German tour.
What?
German tour.
Yeah, German tour. So maybe the 4 hills is gonna be good for me.
We will see.
Yeah, I look forward to Japan.
You had quite a lot of trainings with Sara Takanashi, right? How did you feel at first? Like she had so much success, like a lot of crystal globes, a lot of wins.
Yeah.
How was it for you to like, oh, she's joining the team on training?
Yeah, I think I still see Sara as like a legend. She'll always be a legend in our sport. And yeah, when we first started training with her, I was a little bit like, okay, like I can't, like I won't even look at you. Like, and then I'm like, she's just a person. She's just a girl, just like me. And then we kind of like got a little bit more familiar with her. There's still for me a lot of respect for Sara. Like she was the one I was watching on TV when I was hoping to be like at the Olympics or on World Cup someday. So I respect her a lot. But she's always bringing us little treats from Japan, like little candies or something, and it's always, that's the best when she walks into our change room and she's like, oh, I have something, and we're like, oh, what is it? Yeah, she's sweet. She's very respectful, and I don't mind having her around. She's a good person to be jumping with on the hill.
Do you feel like that now that she's not performing at that level as before, did she also like kind of need your support?
I think maybe it's similar to like Ali and I when we train together. We're kind of always chasing each other and trying to step up above one another. And I think on a team that can be really dangerous, it can be a bad thing, but it can actually be a really good thing. You know, when you're training with the best, then you know what you have to do to be the best. And I think that's similar with Sara. Throw Sara in the mix, and now all 3 of us are doing this, and it's like a really high performing energy to train with. And, you know, like every day you try to show up your best. And I don't know, it's kind of a weird balance between, you don't want to be always watching other athletes and comparing yourself to that, but you've got a good benchmark, you know. If either of them are going a lower gate than me, then I'm like, okay, I gotta like try to figure out what I can do to be a little bit better, then it's a good environment. It's motivating.
How is it to compete with Nika? Like at some point she was unbeatable.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, I think that was like, honestly, last year I was like, wow, this girl is like insane. And then I was like, I'm never going to win a World Cup in my life now because she's going to be around for my entire career. But I think it's good. Like, also, I think it pushed the level of the sport up. Now you have some other girls that are competing with Nika, and I don't know how her form is, compared to how she can jump or whatever, but it's cool to see other people chasing that also. I think it's always good for the sport when people are jumping good and then someone tries to jump better and someone tries to jump better, and you see like women's ski jumping, I think the level it goes up every year. Actually, I know it goes up every year because I watched jumps of mine from 5 years ago or 3 years ago that got me in the top 10, and now that would not have any chance at all.
Are you like, this was me?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what is going on there? Ugh, delete. No. Yeah. I love watching old jumping videos. Like I think it's really, when you're training every day, you almost don't really see the difference. You're just like, okay, that was good, that was bad, da, da, da. But then if you look even a year ago, then you go 2 years ago, then you go 3 years ago, it's like, holy, we've done a lot of work to get where we are today. So that's a cool comparison for me.
Do you ever like want to compete with the guys, like on the same competition, not same place, because you already do that?
Yeah.
But same competition.
I think it would be interesting. I often wonder, if I have my best jump I can ever have, where I would end up in a men's World Cup, and could be an interesting thing to explore. I am like not so full of myself that I think I could go to a men's World Cup and win or be in the top 10, or I think I could score on like a good day for sure. But they take less speed, and then I would have even lower speed from that gate. I think it's hard to compare, but I know like a lot of times this summer when I was training, I was not going that much higher of a gate than some of the boys on the World Cup, and I was going far. So I was like, oh, this is almost competitive. I think give us a few more years, and I especially with Nika jumping, I'm like, I could see a woman getting the world record. Like she's comes in perfectly to go do that, and maybe some other girls will challenge that as well. I want to be like that as well, but we'll see. I've got some work to do before I can try going to a men's World Cup.
Do you want to change anything, like in sport in general? If you could, what
if
you
I could
would
change anything in the sport, I think like I would like to see more nations still fighting for wins. I still think it's clear that the sport is dominated by 5 big teams. And I know that like Canada, we were at the bottom for a long time. Like I was on the World Cup for 8 years, just not 8 years, 4 years, maybe just struggling. And I see a lot of the smaller teams like that as well. But I really like want to see different people doing well. I think that's exciting. I think that's like expands the viewership opportunities also. And yeah, I just think it's really good when there's lots of people fighting for podiums and fighting for top 10s, and there's lots of change going on. I think it's cool on the men's World Cup this season. There's already been so many different leaders. I think that's cool. I think, if I could change anything, I guess I would maybe like to see bigger nations helping lift the sport up in that sense as well. I don't really know what that looks like. Maybe it's just a fairy tale. Every nation kind of wants to help themselves, but that could be a cool change.
Yeah, I think so. But already this year, you can see more and more nations coming into like top 20 at least, or 30.
Yeah. No, I think that's really good. Yeah, it's cool not to always see the same flags at the bottom. You want to see kind of everybody breaking through, and I think that's just like somehow sharing, educating about the sport. And yeah, I also think like Canada being one of those nations that was at the bottom, we didn't have the facilities or the resources or the knowledge That's what we were missing back home. And somehow I'm like, they should be putting little ski jumps in countries all over the world that don't have ski jumps, and then see what happens. See the type of athletes you get coming from everywhere else around the world.
Maybe that's your project.
Maybe that would be pretty cool. Could start a GoFundMe. I've actually thought about that. Like, I don't know. There's so many people out there that just don't even have the chance to try the sport. And what if they did? Maybe they could be the best. I don't know.
I think that's your project. You should work on that.
I'm going to write that one down in my journal after. Špela said I should.
What would you say to our fans coming to Ljubno? What would it be your invitation?
I would say cheer loud. I think I would also say, like I just mentioned, maybe bring some more flags. Make everybody, I think it would be really cool for everybody to feel like they had somebody cheering for them. And that would be like a really good, I know Slovenians want to cheer for Slovenians, but also like it would be a cool picture to have, every flag out there in the crowd. I know as a Canadian athlete, whenever I see a Canadian flag, it makes me super happy. So pick an athlete and cheer for them. Cheer really loud. That's what I would tell them.
How many words you know in Slovene? I know you're learning some.
Yeah, I think I've just picked up a bunch of random words. I don't really know how to like speak, but I find myself hearing things that the coaches are saying and I'm like, oh, I understood what they said. So I know a lot of like terms when we're ski jumping, like all the distances, or they always say like Abi na rampi awesome, like when I'm getting on the bar. I know all the greetings, Živjo, dobro dan, hvala. What else do I know? A lot of stuff from the grocery store. Mleko, sir. I always say banana. That's a good one. I know all my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, blah, blah, blah. 131.
Your record?
My record would be
200?
Yeah, 205
in
po. Yeah, ipo. I hear that one a lot. What else can I say?
So how you would invite people to Ljubno in Slovene?
I need help with that one.
Vabljeni na Ljubno.
Vabljeni na Ljubno. Is that
Correct.
Right? Come to Ljubno.
Narejen. Če česa niste razumeli, bo povzetek najinega pogovora spodaj v komentarju. Hvala, ker ste naju spremljali in se vidimo naslednjič.